My hair's just gone all fuzzy now. It's not good.
I think you said it.
It's just it grows out like a microphone. You ever seen like when a microphone grows out? Like it just pops out. How are you doing? How's lockdown going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We're getting there. We're hanging in. It was pretty awful at the start, Chris.
I know.
It was just, I think at the very beginning it was like, oh my goodness, I've got all these people, of all this shopping to get, of people to look after in the middle of it all, trying to work from home. But I found a lovely thing there on Twitter from some government, and I'd send it through to staff who are so-called working at home, and it said, you're not working at home, you're actually locked in your home trying to work for a living. And I thought, to be recognised, doing that, it's tough. It's been really tough.
What's your day look like?
Honestly, lockdown is tough. I'm just being honest, Chris. There's good days and bad days. It's like an emotional roller coaster. It was really tough at the beginning, those sort of first couple of weeks, the social distancing week, then the week of lockdown, sort of getting into the beginning of April. It was about trying to get into a routine and trying to juggle and trying to make sure that, see the weekly shop. Oh my goodness.
Did you buy toilet roll? Did you stack it up or no? See, no. My mum's complaining at the minute because she says the weekly shop's going through the roof. Is that the same with you or?
No. You see, I had this idea that this was coming in February. So every week I just got a wee bit extra and stocked it up, because my two sisters were laughing at me and saying, don't be daft, it'll not hit us, we'll be fine. And I said, you can't be sure. And then as soon as it all kicked off, they were panicking. One sister with her heart condition, she's got a shielding letter, so she couldn't even get out to get to the shop. So I was able to go into my stack and then make sure that both sisters got it. My daughter Taylor, who's pregnant, got hers stocked up, and got my dad stocked up. So I get everybody in the family stocked up.
I love it.
But it's a real rigmarole there. The night before the weekly shop, I couldn't sleep. I just, the thought of having to go into shops and the danger associated with it, my stress levels were very high, Chris, and I could feel them and I knew it. So I massively had to really completely look after, self-care. It really had to kick in because it wasn't there for a few days. But we're all right. We're getting there now. We're into a routine. And
and the good thing about the kind of lockdown is there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, which is starting to begin. Hopefully this week it's slowly coming out. It's just hard knowing when that'll be. But
I don't know that I'll change much. I think even if the lockdown lifts, I'm quite happy with, the way things are going now that I've actually learned how to use Zoom. Hey, for me.
Great.
And the main technology is not great, but I think it's working okay at the minute. And even if lockdown is lifted, I would still be very, very cautious until there's a vaccine for everybody.
Yeah. And hopefully that'll come out. I was around Stranmillis yesterday, just trying to get some stuff. It's weird. It's all really, really dead and quiet. It's just strange. But the day when it's back, and hopefully it'll be. I actually missed going to your master's class. That was great crack.
Well, I'm glad my master's teaching's good crack.
Well, on teaching and how, like, I have to say, I wish I could have you in every course. Like, it was just great fun. It was great crack. But I hear you've been nominated as a finalist for the UK Pastoral Care and Education Awards. Massive congratulations, Bronagh. That's class. That just shows you your good work. But well, here's a question: Why does pastoral care matter to you?
Why does it matter? It's everything. It's everything to me, because it's everything for the child. If pastoral care isn't the focus in education and health and social care and everything and families, I'm a great believer that children and young people need to be safe, and they need to feel safe, and then the learning will come. And it's that whole sense of safety, about relationships, resilience, connections, respect. It's about their welfare, anything that's could, I suppose, be classed as non-curriculum. That would be the pastoral care, and that would be my focus, because, you know, the research is there, the experience that I've had over the years, it's very clear that children need to be safe, feel safe and looked after, and then everything else will come. To me, it's central. It's the foundation of learning and development.
What will be your approach then in like raising awareness of pastoral care through your work? That's an essay question. That
I know that's a hard one, Chris. Could you not have given me easy questions?
Well, how do you like? Maybe not like approach, but like how do you just publicize it through working at Stranmillis, or how do you do it?
I suppose for me, the last sort of 18, 19 years teaching at Stranmillis, it's about raising the awareness amongst the student body, first and foremost, because they're the ones that are going to go into lessons, to childcare, daycare, teaching, and they're going to have access for more children than I could ever reach whenever I was in the social work team. So I think it's about really having a bit of an impact, making sure they get all the information that they need, but getting that balance, Chris. I mean, you joked earlier about the masters being good crack, and I suppose part of what I do is always to get that balance. You need to have a bit of a laugh. You need to be able to share some laughable stories and anecdotes with your students. You need to get that balance, because it is heavy going, and it can be heavy going. So you don't want to frighten everybody. You don't want to lay it on thick and to have them stressed, because we are covering very sensitive topics. But at the same time, you want to try and get the balance. So that's what I've been doing for the last 18, 19 years. I'm not so sure how I might manage that electronically. I'm not sure how I might manage it online, but we're moving forward in that and see how it goes.
How have you found doing like distance teaching?
Well, for somebody like me who's very sociable, I'm a very tactile person. I love my hugs. That's the one thing that I miss more than anything in all of this. I'm really struggling with that, I have to be honest. I've taken myself off in some online learning. I've done a few webinars with some fantastic key experts in the field that I would have a lot of respect for, where they've been able to say, right, this is a new way of learning, but we still need to cover these pastoral care issues and these trauma-informed practice topics and adverse childhood experiences. And I'm actually learning another way of delivering. So I'm going through that phase at the minute, Chris, but it's been good. It's been a good learning curve, and it's been interesting. And I've learned an awful lot. So that's probably been really good for my mental health, to be honest.
I think the hardest thing about it is in a crisis, there's always a good thing that comes out. There's always a positive in something. If you could look at it, yes, it sucks being at home and we're all, you know, just trying our best to get on with it, but there's always positives and things. And this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, which is why we got you on to have this little Zoom chat. What will be your advice for whoever's watching this today? What will be your advice for them to keep themselves healthy, their mind healthy during these difficult times? If you want to even talk about what you're doing to kind of help with that, or whatever.
Okay. Well, one of the first things that I did was I did a 1 hour, my very first Zoom 1 hour with a psychotherapist. It was a free training, and you just sat and watched, really. It was more like listening to somebody doing a presentation, and it was really interesting for me to do that. But one of the things that she said was, everybody will deal with this in their own way. It was a good reminder, because that's the sort of message I would have been given to the students anyway, in the Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies module and so on.
Yeah.
Yay!
Healthy minds, healthy bodies. Get it. I didn't finish the module. Oh, I will be back.
But she said about, you know, don't forget to do your own thing. Apart from all the basics, look after yourself. I mean, I was delighted in the run up to this week that their theme was kindness. And you'll know yourself, Chris, in all my classes, it's one thing that I've always tried to get across. You know, you have to be kind to each other, but you have to be kind to yourself. And I had kind of forgotten that. So I thought, do you know what I've really wanted to do for a long time? I've wanted to do one of the training courses to identify bird sound and bird song. So I signed up for 3 Sundays in April, and it was absolutely fantastic. I don't know how much I learned about birdsong, but it was very therapeutic.
Like, what did you learn? Did you learn it?
Actually, no, I learned an awful lot about common birds, garden birds, and how to distinguish the bird song compared to the bird call. And it was really interesting. Brian's been laughing at me ever since, because every time we go out for our daily walk, I'm saying, listen, I know what that one is.
That's hilarious. I can just imagine you going out your back garden, like, oh, hold on, there's one I'm chatting to, there's the other one I'm chatting to. All one.
Yeah. It's been great. So in terms of mental health, if I don't like to give advice. All I can do is share my own experiences based on you know, how I deal with things. But very much looking after yourself, Chris. It has to be about self-care. You're no good to anybody else if you're not looking after yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You know, give yourself a bit of a break. Be compassionate, be kind, be caring, take time, walk, breathe, laugh. My goodness, I don't care what anybody says, but laughter is the best medicine, you know. But above all else, you know, keep reminding yourselves that you're doing really well. You're all doing really, really well in a very difficult time. You know, another lovely line that's going around Twitter at the minute, I don't know where it came from. I can't take credit for it. It's not mine, but it's about this storm, and we're all facing the same storm, but everybody's in a different journey because they're on a different boat. And I thought that was a nice analogy to remind us that, you know, do what works for you to get through it. And above all else, be kind to yourself as well as being kind to others. I got a lovely treat yesterday. Yesterday was Thank a Teacher Day. I don't know if you were aware of that, Chris.
I wasn't, no, but what's
right? So Thank a Teacher Day, and I have, we live, as you know, semi-rural, and so I've got a couple of neighbours, and now they know I'm not a teacher as such. Technically, I'm a teacher education, but I thought, how lovely. I was down at the greenhouse, and when I got back to the back door, there was this little pot of petunias, and it was from one of the neighbours from across the road. And then I was waving over at Jacqueline, my other neighbour, who lives in her own with her shielding 87-year-old mother. And I had been sort of sorting them out with vegetables and would help them out with different things. And the next thing, she waved me over. And there it was, a great big tray of tomato plants from a greenhouse. And she said, you mentioned the other day that you didn't get sown very many seeds this year because you were so busy. So I just thought I would give it to you today. How lovely.
I love that. I love stories like that. And it's so good to have days like that where we can actually show acts of kindness towards people. And that's something that you've done so much as students over the years at Stranmillis, definitely to me. So thank you so much for sharing a bit this morning. It was good. I've got some quick fire questions.
Sorry, I was just going to say, can I share a wee email that I got from a student at the start of the week?
Go for it.
I'm not going to say who it is. I have to keep confidentiality, but the person will know whenever, if they watch this little video. But the gist of the email was that they had been for an interview last week for a job in a primary school teaching. And one of the questions that the interviewers asked her was, what learning or what advice have you been given over the years that will help you in this job? And she said to me in the email, she didn't even have to think about it twice. She remembered the very first time I introduced myself to them when they were in first year and said to them, human first, teacher second, and understand that behaviour is a form of communication. And she started to talk all about it. And then she said in the email, I must have done well because they gave me the job.
Yes.
No, the bottom line is, I mean, it was such a lovely email. I cried for about 10 minutes. It was so lovely. But, you know, this student got that job. I didn't get her that job. But for her to take the time and just say something like, Bronagh, thank you for being you. It was just so lovely. So kindness means a lot. It really does. It means a lot for mental health.
Yeah, and supporting other people massively. Like, see the way that email has inspired you to keep going through this time, and that is only something very, very small what someone's done for you. Just acts
And
of
it's
kindness,
massive.
big words, you know. And I love learning all about that. But here
But
we'll
that's
get.
pastoral care as well, Chris. The
No.
smallest things, greeting a child, smiling at them. How we're going to do it without the hugs is beyond me, but there's still ways to do it. You can smile with your eyes, that it's that connection. And it might seem like a very small act, but by Jove, it is massive to young children and young people when they're very often struggling with different things, so small acts make a massive difference.
Yeah, and you're gonna see maybe teachers going back to schools full of energy when they get to be reunited with their kids again. And who knows, you may see a lot of teachers really open up to the idea of pastoral care, even when school kids haven't even been around schools in months. But yeah, they need you, Bruna. They need you.
Well, I'm too young to retire just yet, Chris.
Right, some of my quick fire questions to finish. Here we go. So
Right, okay.
you say an answer, or you can think about it. First one is: would you texting or talking? What do you prefer?
Talking.
Favorite day of the week?
Saturday.
Last song you downloaded? What's the last song?
I've never downloaded a song in my life.
What? Okay.
I
That's good.
play the guitar and I sing along to the radio, but I don't download music.
No need to then. What's your favorite holiday? Like summer, would you rather go on a summer holiday? Would you rather go on a winter holiday?
Crete in the summer, and the last time we were there was about 5 years ago, and I don't even know if we'll ever get there again. But hey ho, we can get a caravan and go camping down south.
Exactly. Love it. So you'll get the weather like Crete.
Yeah.
What's it? If you're a superhero, what would you rather have? Invisibility or super strength?
Oh, super strengths.
Do you prefer dawn or dusk?
Oh, that's a hard one because I love both. That's when the birds come out to sing, you see.
There you go.
I think I'd have to go for dawn.
Okay. What's your favorite season?
Spring.
Would you rather eat cake or pie?
When you say pie, you're talking sweet pie or savory pie?
Savory pie.
Oh, savory pie.
Savory pie every time. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I don't like ice cream.
There you go. See, learning. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Comedy or horror movie?
Comedy.
Would you rather use Google or Bing?
I've never used Bing.
Well, good. That's the right answer because Bing is rubbish.
Yeah.
Steak or chicken?
Oh, chicken.
And the final one, Queens or Stranmillis?
Oh, Stranmillis.
Yay!
Stranmillis University College, Belfast.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland.
Ew. Right, Bruna, thank you so much for
No worries.